What's up, Eagles Nation? What's going on, NFL world? How you doing, division rivals? This is Steven Hyder with Gate City Sports Channel where the cerebral NFL fan comes for about 10 minutes of daily content. What's up, guys? Today's topic. I just want to take a few minutes this morning. I got a question that came across through my email, so I wanted to cover it real quick. So, just real quick, here's the question, guys. It says, "Hey, Gate, glad to see you back again." I appreciate that, guys. I have a real quick question for you. Could you go over and explain Jalen Hurts' struggles from camp? Uh, okay, so lot to that question. To begin with, guys, let me just be upfront and honest. I mean, there's only so much insight I can give you because I wasn't present. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not footage of the 11 on 11 and 7 on 7 drills as far as I've seen, so I can only really go off of what I'm hearing. Um, some guiding things I can tell you guys is this. Number one, from what I understand, is that Nick Sirianni primarily worked mostly on the red zone yesterday. So the thing you need to know about the red zone is that you're tightening the throwing windows. So in one way, it's kind of a good thing, right? Because like you're talking about day one of camp, shaking the rust off. We already got you throwing into tight windows. We got you in game situations. Like it's a tough ask for day one of camp, guys. Um, Guys have rust the first day. So like it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, don't read too much into that kind of thing, man. Like, you know, if it becomes a habitual problem throughout the entirety of camp, then you got a problem. But you shake rust off the first day of camp. In addition to just shaking rust off, guys, we also need to talk about the fact that you got Jalen Hurts learning a new system. Now, look, is this system that drastically different from what he learned underneath Doug Peterson? Uh, no, I mean there's going to be some differences to it. I mean some of the personnel utilization is going to be different. One of the early things I've already heard coming out of yesterday, some of the news, was that Nick Sirianni was running some two back sets, which makes Gate City a happy dude, man. Because you guys know I've been asking and asking to see more two back sets, and apparently there were some two back set utilization yesterday. So that makes me, that's intriguing. But you got tightened windows, trying to shake off rust. You got a new system you're trying to learn. It's not going to be pretty, right? So, just to throw the cards on the table, like what plays are the reporters talking about? Apparently, there was a play where he threw a ball and Kayvon Wallace nearly picked it off, and there was another pass where it did get picked off by Josiah Scott. Apparently, he missed Boston Scott on a couple of pretty easy passes. I heard he missed him once in the flats and he missed him once over the middle. It's guys, you can't make too much of this stuff right now. Like dudes are going to shake off for us, man. Like to me, this isn't the point to start panicking and become concerned about a player's play yet. Um, give the coaching staff credit, man. I mean, this isn't necessarily the coaching staff wanting this result, but they clearly thought about it after they did it. The reason they started off with doing red zone drills on day one of camp is because they wanted to limit injuries. They didn't want soft tissue injuries to occur, right? So if you start running 40, 50-yard plays down the field on the first day of camp, you run the risk of hamstring strains and stuff like that. So they did this really underneath the, advisement of the medical staff, the training staff. Said, hey, you know what, maybe we would probably recommend you just do some red zone work, shorten the windows, don't do these long developing plays, don't do these things that can expose these guys to injury right from the jump. So that's why they did it. But then, like, one of the side effects of that, guys, is the fact that when you're in the red zone, everything kind of tightens up. So timing, rhythm, I know I heard John McMullen speak on it, and John McMullen said he had him at 5 of 15 in the red zone, and yeah, obviously that's not a good percentage. That's very low. Now, what I will say is that you're talking about completion percentage, you're talking about being on time with the offense and stuff like that, guys. Let's keep in mind that overall completion percentage isn't just the red zone. The red zone is going to be difficult. So, like, I wouldn't read too much into a completion percentage from camp to begin with, but I really wouldn't read it in the red zone because the red zone is going to automatically decrease your completion percentage. I mean, look, I don't know, guys. It's difficult to really judge these things. What I will say is just look at the things afterwards, right? Like, number one, look at the circumstances. He already had three receivers down, right? Um, I'm saying 3, even though Jalen Rager was limited and he was able to do individual drills, he was not able to do 7-on-7 and 11-on-11. So he was already down Rager, which is a starter. He was down Greg Ward Jr., who's a pretty big target for him, especially in the red zone, by the way. We know that Greg Ward Jr. had some production with Hurts in the game around the red zone. And then they were, also down Quez Watkins because of his physical. So, you're already starting off with less than ideal circumstances. You got Nate Herbigan at left guard and not Isaac Sayamalu. So, you know what I mean? You got that competition at left tackle still. Things aren't perfect yet either, guys. And it's still day one, like I said. You know what I mean? Like, you got to look at circumstance. I mean, that kind of factors in, right? To me, it just, these things are going to happen, guys, early in camp. Guys are going to shake off rust. It's going to take time. But the other thing to look at is the leadership things that came out of this, too, right? It's not like Jalen Hurts didn't take the onus for having a pretty shaky start. Like, after practice, he's out there with his tight ends and his receivers, and he's talking, right? He's trying to get on the same page. There's a lot of talk about how he did not give up on Devontae Smith, which, we don't expect it. But, he's trying to build chemistry with these guys, too. It's been all offseason. Like, it takes time to build that chemistry. And remember, outside of learning a new system, outside of shaking off rust, outside of having guys down already, right, you also have a change in philosophy to where now receivers can option routes, so you have to build the timing. That's the other side to this, guys. This stuff takes time, especially for a young quarterback to master. So, if you looked at it and Jalen Hurts this was his rookie year, okay? So it was last year. And you had elevated him as the starter, and this was his first day of camp, you would be pleased with these results. That's kind of the way I look at it, guys. It's like, how would I view these results if he was a rookie quarterback and I didn't count those 4 games, I didn't count the season of you know what I mean? Like, if you took that stuff out, how would you view it? I would view it as a big positive. But like I said, the leadership stuff, you got to factor that in too, guys. Like, he's out there, he's talking to guys, he's trying to get them on the same page. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know yet, guys. It's hard to say, guys. I mean, who the heck knows at this point? Right now, like I said, man, there's 1,000,001 things you have to factor in. It was day one of camp. If you guys are reading into that, man, just don't yet, guys. No matter how you feel about Jalen Hurts, just know that you can't really read too much into day one of camp. You got to see if it's a habitual problem, then you got an issue, man. But day one of camp, dudes are going to be off a little bit, man. It's just kind of the way it is on day one of camp. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Let me know if you guys have questions. You can hit me at GC, so Gate City Sports Talk at gmail.com. So it's GC Sport Talk at gmail.com. So that's it, guys. I appreciate y'all, and I will see you guys on the next video, guys.